Hello and welcome back to this third episode where we'll be growing from 13 to 20,000 population. As you see, our graphs are looking good. We have a high rate of employment. So let's start building our subway system. I have been using the metro overhaul mod. So that's why I have to use this extra building to start my subway system. I'm actually quite inexperienced in using this mod, but you'll see that later. I'm going to place my subway stations in a circle so I can make use of a double loop. I'm thinking that that could be quite handy with the size of the city and reducing traffic towards the industrial area at nighttime. Here I'm already placing the subway station at the location where the central station is going to be. So that means just another one. I have tried to make really nice curved subway systems, but apparently that is not necessary, and using straight lines in this case actually benefits. Although sharp curve, how do you say, make it into a double curve to make it a little bit less steep. Now, as I said, I'm quite inexperienced in using the metro overhaul mod. This is, I think, the third subway system that I'm constructing with this mod, and I've placed the how do you say, the depot a little bit different than I would do normally. I have to get some power towards this subway station, and some offices will seem to do the job. They will not be bothered by any sound pollution later on when the train station is built over there. Now I'm tweaking my subway system, but what happens? There are no trains running. And now I'm guessing that it's because of this new system I'm using. But then I noticed, hey, I forgot to connect that one. Maybe that would do the trick. So let's check out the line. But no vehicles spawning. So something still goes wrong. Trying to set up a new line to see if that was the problem, or maybe the problem was that it had starting station too far away. There seems to be one vehicle on the line, but there's no vehicle spawning, so something still goes wrong. Now let's just then connect it as I would normally do. Normally I would also I built a line before, and not this rectangular or not this circle shape. So let's see if this works. Hey, there are vehicles spawning. So this seems to do the trick. Making a line the other way, and we reached the big city, and subway vehicles are spawning for the other line as well. Because these lines are almost identical, I like to have them the same color. I'm actually using a mod also that gives every public transport line a unique color. That's quite handy, saves some time. Now I'm checking out to see what tile to buy next, and I'm noticing that the iron ore actually is quite inaccessible. You could say when you use the 81 tile mod, that's no problem, but I'm not using that mod. And yeah, I like to construct a map where it should not be necessary to use the 81 tile unlock mod. So I'll have to make a extra iron ore deposit later before I put the map online. My subway lines are now working, but they're not as utilized as I would have hoped. I could have used just one line instead of the circular setup, but who cares? I also downloaded the new mod, the cinematic camera mod, which allows you to put some waypoints, and I'm now just experiencing what the camera does. But as you can see, it makes this could give a nice overview of the city. But we'll use that for more videos later on. Nice mod. Checking out the subway again. Especially when you just build it, I would recommend that you check that out regularly. At this moment there is no problem point, so to say. Everything is running smoothly. I'm losing a lot of money on the subway system, but hey, I'm making enough money with the industries, and I'm about to build another industry, the oil industry. So that will boost income even further. Let's speed forward this building process a little bit, because as you have noticed that I'm using this simple setup. There's one thing with the oil industry I noticed, that if you put all your pumps next to each other, then they'll drain the resources really fast, and then the production rate of those pumps will go down dramatically. The entrance building is a little bit bigger, so I have to make use of some more space. As you can see, I'm not putting my pumps next to each other, but I give them some radius distance in between. But electricity can, there you go, there's only one field of electricity. And now I'm putting out one depot, and of course the processing units. These are really small, but that's okay. The units, the amounts of units that are produced actually are the same for all the industries. That's something I think it's kind of funny and kind of lazy, but okay. As you can see, that will grow to the next level soon enough. Subway is still losing money, but we can get rid of the last landfill, so we can find some new purpose for that piece of land. Trying to make sure that the wood industry will reach level 5. So I'm seeing where there's some more space for some more paper buildings, because paper seems to be the least produced commodity. And there I just put some extra, a medium tree field. The medium-sized production units compared to the small-sized production unit is actually a little bit lower. The small wood production unit, for instance, produces, if I'm mistaken, 8,600 units, and the double, as the twice as big, will produce 16. Or am I now mistaken with 4,600? Well, whatever. The double unit seems to even produce a little bit less. Well, there's also a new asset that I picked up. The ability to put letter signs, and yeah, I like that. That's a nice welcome to the city. So I just fast forward this a little bit because it's tedious, but there we go. That's a nice welcome sign. Could be a postcard. Well, play with that later on. It's a keeper, I guess. Okay, now we come to our train station. And I also downloaded some 4-track train stations because I'm actually not too happy with the 6 or the 8-track. They're way too big for a city this size. And I thought I had downloaded this nice 4-track train station, but you probably already see it coming. Besides, we reached Grand City. Giving some more stuff. I think the solar power plant now came available. And now I'm trying to connect a rail in a second, and then I realize, hey, I already was thinking now what's going wrong with this. Why is it in the subway menu? So let's delete it and put the other 4-track train station I downloaded. But I'm now using the standard platform length, which could have been way smaller. But okay, live and learn. Things don't need to be perfect. This is the track which is going outside the city. I do not know why I actually built that one, but okay. That's where we need to go. So we'll need to pass the highway one way or another. And let's tunnel it. I like to go down 12 meters and then I make 3 steps of 4 meters for every 10 meters, which is a gradient of 4%, which is actually already a lot for trains, but it's nice. Because don't forget, everything is in a, or at least I think it's in a 1 to 10 scale, because if you have houses which are 4 units long, then yeah, that's reasonable to think that they're 40 meters long, which is for a house, how do you say, single house, that's reasonable. But in that way, every 10 units is actually 100 meters, and going up or down by 4 meters then is a nice percentage of 4%. Like I said, I'm quite new to this metro overhaul mod and all the other things. Sometimes I just use the wrong train. Now, this all came free because the landfills are gone. So and there is a subway station, so I put out some offices. This can do with only 1 train because there's not so much traffic, I noticed. I'd like to take a ride on the train just to see if it's working. Now I realize I want things changed around. I actually want the outer track to receive the intercity train, and then I have the inner track for my local trains. And in that way, I keep things nicely separated. And that's why I also think the 8-track train station is just too much. This moment, I could probably do in the future with just one local train line going from west to central to east. And at the moment I just made here this western station, which is the village. I'm checking now at my industrial area. I could do with some extra jobs, but that's something for the next episode. At the moment, I'm quite happy. This seems to be the natural, how do you say, the natural part to expand on. Oops, I made a little mistake there, but I decided to keep it. Because with little mistakes, the beauty in life is born. Or how did Bob Ross call that every time? My beach area now also being developed. And that also could do with some bus lines. Because there is no subway station in this vicinity yet. We have beachside and we have the beach. And that'll wrap it up for this episode. Take a look at this population map chart, 20,000. And that in some mumbly city called Port Corinthe. See you next episode.